You look great. I was watching the other night, and when they were doing the Jacob's Ladder for like 2.5 hours, you have to stand there. I'm sure you're hoping that they fall within 20 minutes or something. And 2.5 hours, you're still standing there.
We were still standing.
And by the way,
it was so cold. I mean, it was 35 degrees. Had to be. I was freezing.
What time of day was that?
And it is all about me, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Of course. Like, never mind that. 2 hours on a.
They weren't cold. They were on. You could have gotten on Jacob's Ladder and stayed warm.
Yeah, exactly. It was about midnight, I think, when we finished.
Wow.
Yeah, they were on. I mean, nobody expected them. That's the impossible thing to predict. How long will they last?
Right. Because you go out there and you've got to stay there for the entire length of the challenge, whatever. And I always think about that because you've got to keep it going and say things.
Right.
And, you know, I'm paying attention to you.
Thank you.
Because I know it's all about the contestants, but what you do is very important.
And so you do find your way, like other ways of saying that about the ladder. You're like, okay, what can I say now? They're still just climbing.
Right.
I
know that feeling. What do I say now? They were just kind of okay.
Yeah.
So now the show is focused on adults thus far, but do you think they'll do one for children? Because I think there are a lot of obese kids right now that could use the help.
Yeah, I mean, certainly an epidemic in this country, and they do need help. And one of the things we talk about on the show is, I mean, we had Darius this season, who's 19, and Mike 2 seasons ago was 18.
Right.
And they talk about how they've never been thin their entire life. And we do have a lot of kid fans, which is awesome. I mean, and families watch it together. It's a great family show. But we mostly focus on helping the parents understand how important their role is in teaching their kids how to eat healthy and making sure that they take that responsibility. Because, you know, it's so hard to be teased. It's hard enough being a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I was picked on, and you don't want to give other kids something you want to fight that and help kids be healthy.
No, it's a horrible thing. It changes everything about what they do socially and what kind of life they have growing up. And not to mention just being healthy and vibrant. And,
well, right, and their confidence. I mean, it definitely, in my experience, it affected my whole image, my self-image, my self-worth. And you want to give them that confidence.
How heavy did you get? How big were you at
I
your biggest?
was never, you know, that overweight. I mean, it was more sort of like an image thing and being in Hollywood and trying to be an actress. Right. You look in the mirror and you're just, you know, you don't compete with those other girls.
Yeah.
And that's, and it's sort of, that's what I love about our show too, is fans get it. It doesn't matter if you have 5 pounds to lose or 50 pounds to lose or you're Mike at 526. Right. You know what that feels like to be unhappy looking in the mirror.
Boy, he's looking good. That Mike, he's looking really good.
Does he look great?
Yeah, he's the makeovers were just fantastic.
I know.
Yeah,
I love him.
It's such an I mean, I end up, you know, just about every week crying. Those, you know, it's really, it's an amazing show.
It's really hard not to cry when you're watching it happen. I mean, I just love them all.
Now he looks, he's looking good, and he's still at 300-something pounds. So he's still isn't he?
Yeah.
So he still has a long way to go.
Yeah, and he's lost almost 200 pounds. I mean,
crazy. All right, let's talk about this picture because I can relate to this as well.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
So it was my son's 5th birthday, and I got a reptile guy because I love animals and I want to get my kid into it and appreciating all the different. My husband loves tortoises, and so we got all these different animals, and he pulls out this huge boa constrictor.
Right.
And that was sort of the finale of his show. The reptile guy was having me hold the boa, and as you can see, it got really like personal. Yeah. You know.
Mine was much worse.
Oh yeah. No, I see.
It came from around the back, and then
I guess they really like women. They have a thing.
Well, I think it would have liked anybody at that point.
And I love that we have that in common, Ellen.
Yes.
I think that's a really unique thing that we...
Yeah.
There we go.
We have that, and we have the thing about constantly having things to say and making it new and fresh every single time.
There we go.
So I can appreciate that, too. I love the show, and I think you're so great on it, and I don't know how you have time, and I know you have kids, and you have a great husband who does a lot of good for animals as well. He's rescuing dogs, and...
He does. He works with Pilots and Paws and flies around the country helping, you know, take animals out of kill shelters and help them find vets that will do the surgery, but they don't, you know, they're a state apart. And yeah, they do
very
a lot
cool.
of,
That's an amazing thing. Tell him I'm very happy that he does that. And I just think you're terrific.